Hi, this is Kimberly from Are You Awakening? And I am here to talk to you about the game theory. And the game theory is one timeline that many of us are on right now. You might think of it as the dark versus light scenario, or all the stuff that's triggering the event, if you're interested in that. All of that is, in my timeline, what I call the game theory. So let's explain what that is. So you're a soul, as I always tell you, a big blob of energy, and you've decided to focus a portion of you in a human body, on a planet, in a solar system, in a galaxy, in a universe, right? And you've made yourself physical for this specific purpose. And on Earth at this time, there are many themes going on. One of them is polarity. All right, so the dark versus light, the good versus bad, the light forces versus the cabal, and Star Wars basically is what it is. We're basically playing Star Wars. All right, so now that I said that, you kind of get an idea. Now, why would we be playing Star Wars, and why am I not crazy? Well, you, as your soul, wanted to come down to Earth. You have to learn your lessons anyway. So why the hell not have fun, right? So maybe you incarnated as a good person. Maybe you incarnated as a bad person, right? You could be, oh my gosh, you could be anybody. Right? Based on whatever lessons you are working on as a conscious being outside of your incarnation, you chose the person that you wanted to be situated in a certain spot on a game board. All right? So basically, you're God in a costume. All right? Now, so you got this costume on. You may be the protagonist. You may be the antagonist. All right, what you're doing is you're playing on the gigantic game board where the light forces and the dark forces are up against each other. And this is not my theory. I mean, this is the basis of Hinduism, if you really look at it. Could be the reptilians versus the Pleiadians, huh? The light forces versus the cabal. Right? The shadow government versus the poor constituents. There's a ton of them going on, and it's all the same theme. Okay? Now, because you're a blob of energy and you've put yourself here on Earth, you can choose any of these things that you want to focus on and make it your reality based on your beliefs. So where do your beliefs come from? Well, at first, they start coming in from all the external forces, from your teacher, from your school, from Star Wars, right? And you decide which side you're on. Yeah. Now, that's part of the lesson here, right? Is we're learning as souls to love each other. And in order to do that, sometimes we have to take sides in order to realize that there really is no side. And so this is how this theme is getting played out on Earth, okay? One way I like to talk about it is think of it as the haunted house at the mall, right? So they set it up in the parking lot, you pay your $30 or whatever it is and stand in line, and you go through and it's, oh my gosh, and some woman in front of you is screaming her head off because she's terrified. Right? And then the guy behind you is burping because he's like, oh God, I've seen this before. This is so not scary. All right? So there are two different beliefs going through this fabricated scene, right? Where the guy that's dressed up as the zombie, when it's time to take his break, he goes outside and smokes a joint and takes a deep breath and goes back in and starts scaring people again. Right? That's exactly where this theme on Earth is leading us. You are a soul, a perfect, divine soul, having an experience of forgetfulness so that you can A, have fun, and B, learn your lessons. All right? So that bad guy, just as divine as you, right? You know, when we're done, those of us who are finished with the ascension will go and slap each other on the back and go get a spiritual beer, be like, dude, you were such a dick. Man, I know, man, that was so much fun. And so that's an explanation of the game theory. Now, if you want to look deeper into this, go on some reliable source and look up GURPS, G-U-R-P-S. And that is a game system that was created back in the 80s for cosplay, for role-playing games, okay? Now this brilliant man channeled down all this fantastic information. He created a system that anybody can use when they want to make a role-playing game, but it just happens to mirror exactly what's going on Earth, including karma and points for strength and which side you're on, all right, hit points, all sorts of things like that. So take a look at that and see if you recognize any kind of analogy about your reality. And if you do, then chances are you're taking part in this game, which is great fun, by the way. We'll go on to that in a second. And one of the important aspects of the GURPS theory is what's called a game master. And the game master is not only acting in the game, but also designing the game at the same time. This is you, okay? You do have that much power. I'm adding that in. I'm going to add it in all the time. You have that much power. You are writing it. Now, how does that explain all the other people? Right? Oh, that integration question comes up all the time. Who are all these other people if it's only me? Well, they're you, but really it wouldn't be much fun if you were just playing alone, which you never really are. So let's go quickly to the levels of creation, and hopefully that'll help explain the game master and how you take part in creation of this whole collective game that we're playing. Okay? So if you start in the physical, we've got the actor, right? We've got the physical person who's got the avatar, walks around, has got the costume on, touches things, picks up mugs, drinks out of them, and goes about the game board doing things. Okay? Now, that actor, he's got a conscience. He can hear stuff. He can hear what's coming in. He can hear what's coming in from this way and from this way. All right? He doesn't have to listen to it, but it's coming in. And who's it coming in from is the next level up, which we would call the director. So the director is there. He knows the general theme of what's going on. He wants the actor to win. It's a game. We got to win the game, knowing that nobody really gets hurt. So he's going to be like, let's win. Let's do this. Let's make this a badass life. All right, let's participate in this game. So they might move the actor over here or nudge him this way. They'll add their flair anytime they can with a little bit of synchronicity here and there. Hopefully the actor picks it up. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And if you've ever acted, you can take off, right? You can improvise. So that director's watching this actor improvise and having to make little changes as they go along to keep them kind of within the guidelines of the theme based on where that soul really truly wants to go. Okay, so if we go another level up, then we're on the platform, which is what I call it. And the platform is where the actor and the director are hanging out in chairs discussing what they're going to do. You can think of it as Truman up in the control room at the moon. He and Christoph are sitting around and be like, yeah, let's make me do this. And well, if you do that, we can do it. It's not exactly where you want to go. So that would be the gut talking to the actor. And hopefully they come to a compromise where they're both contributing to the performance of the actor. All right. Now, when you're up on the platform, you know you're playing this part. You know that all the other people that you're interacting with are just perfectly divine people, just like you are, also playing parts, right? And so you're not going to go and, slash everyone's heads off just because you had a bad day, because they're your friends. They're your friends. They wouldn't be in your reality if they weren't your friends. So when you're up on the platform, you can see more. You've got a wider vista. You've got a bigger view of what's going on, and you can make higher level decisions that are more based in love and more based in fun and more based in joy, a little sex here and there, right? I mean, once you know you're playing the part, it takes a huge load off of you, because you know that everybody's just going to get up and dust themselves off and be fine in the end, okay? So what happens when you go up another level? Well, you could go to the producer, who would be the game master in this case, who is casting those characters, who is making the deals with the friends on other levels. Hey, I need you to teach me this. I need you to show me this. And they're doing the same thing to you. Hey, can you help me with this? Yes. So there's parts of you on higher levels that are making these connections all of the time. Some of them were from before you incarnated, and some of them are a little more recent. I mean, we're all connected on so many levels that when you get out the linear time part of it, it's basically now, always now. Okay. So, of course, you can go up levels from there, where you're going to realize that all of the others that are helping you are really just you, that you have created in order to provide a relationship with you, an interaction with you while you're on the game board. Huh? Isn't this fun? It can be fun, right? When you've got the forgiveness in there, you've got the love in there, you've got the fact that you learn a lesson with every single interaction in there. When you know those things, it takes a big load off of you. And then the actor can have fun. I don't know, they seem to have a really good job. It seems to be like the only job I can think of where you get paid to kiss. That's a pretty good gig. Anyway. So, what is your role in this? I know what my role is, and I'll tell you what my role is because it's fun. My role is to create artistic visuals for people, because I am able to send you triggers, and I want you to recognize your ability as a creator. And in order to get to that point, you gotta get rid of all the junk. Yeah, all your belief systems have to change, like I always talk about. But I also want you to realize that while you're doing that, you can still be creating with joy and having fun. All right? Your lessons are gonna happen no matter what, so you may as well have fun doing it. It doesn't have to be wah, 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 tears all the time. So you're welcome to join me. This team that I'm working on began in altered states, meaning that we started in the dream state, but now we're moving into the physical. And so I'm starting to get closer to those people that are working with me to create this art, this visual art, in which we're meant to trigger remembrance in certain people who have requested that. So you've probably seen my trigger messages from before. I have a ton more coming out that I just haven't had time to make. And all of those were created from an artistic perspective, and they are directed at certain people who have asked for those triggers. So if any of my videos trigger you, then you have probably asked for that prior to your incarnation. So here I am. And this team that I'm on is very Orion driven, meaning that we have a very large portion of our energy that still focuses in that Orion star system, which, by the way, as I've said before, is the basis of Star Wars again. right? So they had a very traumatic and very dramatic ascension in that star system. So a lot of us who still love to get in there and get stuff done in the ground crew, we have come to Earth in a different manner. We don't want to be the bad guys anymore, but we want to enjoy that excitement that happens when you've got the dark versus light. You've got that duality in a safe manner. So we'll be the artists, we'll be the actors, we'll be the singers, and all of those people that can kind of bring in a little bit of that darkness that Orion is so known for, and make it into art, right? And so that is, to me, one of the most valuable uses of energy. And so hopefully you'll see more from my team and I about triggers and fun stuff that will help you learn that you are that creator, and help you to rid yourself of those limiting beliefs that stop you from creating the fun, exciting, loving life that you're looking for. All right, I've talked enough. So if you're in this game with me, if you're on this timeline with me, welcome. It's fun. I'm excited. I see lots and lots of new developments coming out every day, and I see our world changing for the better as each person starts to go within and starts to look at what makes them tick and ask themselves, why am I not having fun? That's a good question to ask. Okay, don't forget, always be yourself all the time. Love.